Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Logics Academy co-taught lesson. So today we are going to be jumping into Pimachiowin Ake, Minecraft Education World. Now, just a quick note before we get started. So you can see and hear us, but we can't see or hear you. So what you're going to need to do is open up a new browser tab, and you're going to put in bit.ly/logicsform2, and you can put your questions and your answers and your comments in there. Also, just to note, we are doing something a little bit differently today. We are going to actually be switching over to a pre-recorded session of this activity, but I will still be monitoring that form, and we'll be answering your questions during the video. Also, you can pause and rewind that video at any time during the session. All right, so without further ado, we are going to jump over to the video now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Logics Academy Minecraft education session today. Today, we are going to be exploring Pimachiowin Ake, a wonderful indigenous world that we put together and work together with an indigenous community to create.
Yay!
So first, we're going to introduce myself. So my name is Dan Noble. I'm a Minecraft education consultant and part of the Extended Logics Academy team here. And as a consultant, I do all sorts of cool workshops with Sarah and PD, and a lot of content building too, lots of unique custom stuff. So it's Minecraft all day long for me. And I'm located here in Dumfries, and I'm going to let my friend Sarah introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah. In addition to being an instructor with Logics Academy, I also get to work on Minecraft all the time as the coordinator for digital content for a really big museum here in Toronto where I live. And I am so excited to explore this world with you today. So as we head into things, we do want to take a moment to pause and reflect. We invite all of you to reflect on the lands where you are. And even though we are meeting in a virtual space, we are all meeting from physical places. So I would like to acknowledge that I'm presenting today from the ancestral lands of the Wendat, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe, which includes the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, on whose treaty lands I am so fortunate to be able to live and work.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, so you can see and hear us, but we can't hear or see you. So what I'm going to need you to do is open up another page in your browser, and I'm going to need you to put this link in the bottom. So bit.ly/logicsform2. So go ahead, say hello in there, put your first name and what school you're coming from today, and we'd love to hear from you. And one of the first things you can tell us is, what is your Minecraft experience? So I like to think that I'm pretty good, but as I've learned with working with a lot of students, they share a lot of secrets with me, and I realize that I'm still on a Minecraft journey. I'll probably never come to the end of it, which is actually a really awesome thing because I'm always learning new cool things about Minecraft. So I used to think of myself as a 10, but I've slid myself permanently down to like a 9, and I'm quite comfortable and happy there and continuing to learn. So Sarah, where are you?
I would say about the same. And that's one of the coolest things about Minecraft. It's really easy to get started playing, but there are so many different things that you can learn how to do once you get going. And I think that's the most fun part.
Definitely. So let us know in the forum where you are with Minecraft. So very quickly, our plan today, we're going to give you an intro to Pimachiowin Ake. We're going to visit the community. We're going to make a dog sled and ride on one, which is really cool. We're going to trap some rabbits, and we're going to build our home for our dogs, and from nice little cozy place to keep them warm during the winter months.
Alrighty. So let's switch over to Minecraft. I know everyone is absolutely ready to go. So let's talk about how we find our world. So from our play screen, we can go ahead and we can click on the play button. Now, as we head into things, teachers, we do want to remind you, we know everyone is in different places on our Minecraft journey. We can see that from the form. So if you need more time, or if your students need more time to catch up, remember that you control the pacing of this lesson. You can pause anytime you want. You can rewind. You can even leave it to go troubleshoot something and come back on another day. So you fully control the pace that we go. And on that note, let's click play. And if you are newer to Minecraft, one of the things that's important to know is any world you have done work in is going to be in my world. But to get a new copy of the world, like we're going to do today, you're going to go into the library. And from here, there are two ways that we can go. So I'll show you both. We can go to library, and we can go to social studies. So that's down near the bottom. And we can go into history, and we should be able to find it in the P's if they haven't moved it. Sometimes they like to rearrange where things are. And there it is. So that's one way that you can get to it. And once you're here, you can click on it and you can go to create world. But if you're having trouble with that, there's another thing that we can do. So you go play, you go into the library, and we can actually search just for part of the title. And let's keep it easy for ourselves. Let's search for Aki. And there we go. And we want Pimachiowin Aki, not Manitowabi Aki. It's another really fun world, but we're not doing that one today. We're doing Pimachiowin Aki, the land that gives life. So we're going to click on that, and you're going to click on Create World.
Just bear with us as it loads. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer if you're on a lower powered device. We're on gaming rigs here, so it's pretty snappy. And just one other thing I have to say, I'm really proud to have worked on this world with the Blood Vein community to create this. And I learned so much as we went through the process. So just wanted to say how excited I am to be here and actually presenting this to you with Sarah today. So Sarah, back to you.
All right. And I was just going to mention that. So friends, if you have questions about how things work, maybe you can put those into your form as well. And Dan can answer using the banners as we go. So let's head toward our community. And we're going to have a little bit of a welcome. So we are going to help you out with the text in the game, but before we do, I do want to point out this really amazing tool because there is so much to learn in this game. We're not going to get through the whole thing with you. You're going to be able to go on after we're done and explore more. And if you need help with the text, because there are a lot of new words that you might encounter, you can use this button right here. It looks like a little book and a speaker. And if you open that up, it's going to open up the immersive reader. And this is a really neat tool. So if we click on one word, we can hear just that word if we need help with just that one.
Acknowledge.
Or if we want to hear the whole thing, we can start at the beginning and push this little play button at the bottom.
In the spirit of the Anishinabemowin.
So that is going to be a really helpful tool if you need it. So we have our land acknowledgement, which says, in the spirit of the Anishinaabemowin, the language of the Anishinaabe people, we humbly acknowledge the sacred land upon which we stand. Pimachiowin Aki, meaning the land that gives life, is a precious gift from the Creator, a vibrant boreal forest teeming with life, where sun, water, wind, rain, fire, rock, soil, plants, and animals intertwine in a delicate dance. As we created our Minecraft education map within this UNESCO World Heritage Site, we honor the wisdom of the Treaty 5 territory, the elders, and the knowledge keepers who have stewarded this land for countless generations. Their teachings echo through the rustling leaves, the flowing rivers, and the ancient stones. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to the resilient students of Misquisipi School and the proud members of the Blood Vein River First Nation. You are the bridge between the past and the future, carrying your ancestor stories and weaving them into the digital fabric of our map. Your footsteps echo the elders who shared, I'm going to have to get into my Anishinaabemowin, who shared their Adizukuin, the sacred teachings that form, I am so out of practice. Jiganan Wendam. I can do this. I am not an Anishinaabe speaker, but you can learn. If I can learn, so can everyone. Jigana Wendamang Yidaki Minan.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. I know that one. 2 vowels is the long sound.
You need to put in a pronunciation guide, I think, next time.
Yeah. Now proceed to the camp and speak with all the elders. Now, this is really good practice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anishinaabe-Moan is a really cool language because different parts of words mean different things. And kind of like in German, you get words by just putting all the different parts together. So you get some really long words. So it is pronounced exactly the way it's written. It's just some of us aren't used to really long words, and it can take our brains a while to make our way through them. But the more you practice, the better you get. All right, let's click on OK, and let's keep going. Okay, so we have a task right now. We have to talk to some elders. And before we talk to the elders, Dan, I just have to say these wigwams are really cool.
Thank you.
All right, so let's have a chat. So we're going to talk to Gabriel first, who says, Bonjour, welcome to Pimachiowin and our community. Bonjour means hello. So bonjour is what you say when you say hello to a person for the first time. If you've met them before, you can say ani. We each have gifts and knowledge for you that will allow you to capture and reflect on your experience with us today. The book and portfolio can be used to record teachings, while the camera can be used to photograph experiences you wish to share and remember. The portfolio is a place to store and label your photos. Please accept these gifts and meet the other members of our community. All right, so we are starting to stock up on my favorite tools in the game, and we will explain in just a minute how these are going to work. But first, we're going to talk to Leslie next. So you just right-click on the NPC to talk, or if you're on a Chromebook, Dan, what do you do?
The right click is a what we call bunny ears, and you do a 2-finger tap on your mouse pad.
Leslie says, Bonjour and welcome. Today we have a full day of activities planned for you. You'll start by gathering the materials needed to create and use a dog sled and traps, and then learn about caring for sled dogs. You'll learn about tracking small game and set traps. Next, you'll visit our wigwams, try ice fishing, and near sunset, take part in big game sustainable hunting. Finally, you'll travel by dog sled to phase 2 of this journey. Please accept this book and quill. You can use it to write about your experiences and share with others. All right, so we're going to grab our book and quill. That is my other favorite tool in the game. And we're going to talk to Frank, who tells us, Bonjour. Pimachiowin means the land that gives life and is a manifestation of an enduring kinship between culture and nature, between the Anishinaabe cultural tradition, I get to try again, of Ji, Ganawendemang, Giraki Minan, keeping the land, and Mino Aki Okatim, beautiful and whole land. On an area of approximately 29,040 square kilometers, Pimachiowin is the largest network of contiguous protected areas in North America, Boreal Shield, and the ancestral lands of 4 Anishinaabe First Nations. Today, Pimachiowin is home to roughly 6,000 Anishinaabe. All right, so there is a button down here that says Learn More. So any button that is blue is a link. And we don't have time to visit those links today, but we do recommend that you go back when you're done with us and click on them, because there are videos that have a lot more teachings and a lot more information that you can add to the book that we're going to build together today. So we're not going to do it right now, but be sure to remember where these buttons are so you can come back and learn more later. And Emily is here. We're actually going to skip over Emily for now. We're going to come back to her. We want to finish talking to the other elders before we talk to Emily. So we can talk to William, who tells us that the nearby river is the Blood Vein River. It flows from west to its headwaters in northwest Ontario to the east side of Lake Winnipeg in Manitoba, through the boreal forests of the Canadian Shield. It's about 300 kilometers long. It's mostly frozen right now, but I do hope you return to travel by water in the future. And again, you can learn more about the river. We're not going to do that right now, but we encourage you to go back and do that when we're done. And then Kenny tells us that Blood Vein First Nation is a community located on the east side of Lake Winnipeg along the Blood Vein River in Manitoba. As of 2019, the community had a population of more than 1,100. There are many bears, wolves, bald eagles, lynx, owls, and various species of fish in the area. The river and surroundings are the traditional land use area of our people. Watch the video to visit a school in the area. Again, we're not going to do that right now, but be sure you come back and do it. Then if you've met everyone, we're not going to do this just yet because I want to go talk to Emily first. We're going to come back to do activity 1. So let's talk to Emily. And I like to end with Emily because we are going to be coming back to Emily a lot. So I want everyone to remember where Emily is. And Emily says, Bonjour, I'm Emily Skye, and I live in this community. Each time you finish an activity, you'll return here before beginning the next experience. You may have tools or bounty to share with the community. You can give me these items by pushing this button down here. It's not going to work because we don't have anything yet. And Emily will make sure the community benefits from our generosity. All right, so now we are set. We are going to go back over to Kenny, and we can click Next, and we can click on Activity 1. Okay, so we have some elders to talk to. So let's go talk to Emily first. Oh, I get to try again. There's a general principle in Ganawendamang Gidakiminan, the Anishinaabe cultural tradition of keeping the land, that specific family groups are associated with the stewardship of specific areas, and that these areas have boundaries that are known both within the group and among neighbors. Okay. All right, let's go talk to Gabriel, who says, hello, if you gather some resources, I can build a dog sled for you. Take this axe and chop down some saplings. I need 4 spruce logs and 4 sticks to craft a dog sled. Okay, let's remember these numbers, everyone. 4 spruce and 4 sticks. And we also get a lead to tie our dogs up so that they don't wander off. So let's get our axe. Okay. And let's talk to Leslie before we go looking for trees and sticks, who says, we're going to learn more about dog sledding as a means of traditional land transport. We'll also learn about tracking and trapping small fur-bearing animals along a trap line. Finally, we'll set out by dog sled and try trapping yourself. You'll then return to the community with your bounty and a better understanding of these traditional practices. Watch this video showing dog sledding in Pimachiowin, then talk with other community members that are here to help. So again, we encourage you to come back and watch that video later. But before we talk to Frank, let's make our sled first. All right, so we have our axe, and we have to have that in our hand. And we are going to be looking for spruce. And where do we get sticks, Dan?
All right, so we are going to chop down some of these smaller trees here to get the sticks that we need. So we can do these birch ones, or you can do the other saplings as well.
Okay, so we've got 4 sticks, and one of the really important things that I learned from the Indigenous colleagues that I work with is when you are working with the land, you never take more than you need. So right now we need 4 sticks, and that's all we need, so we can come back if we need more later. But let's get our logs as well. We have 3, we need 4. So we're going to keep cutting down these spruce trees until we have enough. That should be enough, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let's go back to Gabriel, and we can talk to Gabriel, who, if we have enough, it should work. Craft dog sled. Yay! And we have our dog sled. And it is going to roam around. We can leash up our dogs and hold on to that. But I am going to take a picture, and let's add this to our book. Let's leash our dogs first so they don't get lost.
Definitely.
And then we can go to our book. So we hold the book in our hands, just like we held the camera. So we right-click with the camera if we want to take a picture. And with the book, we hold that in our hands, and we right-click to write in our book. So we can add 2 things to our book. We can add words, or we can add pictures. I like to do both so that I remember what I was looking at when I write down what I learn. So you click on the little pencil, and you can choose words or pictures, and it will remember all the pictures you've taken. So this is our dog sled. We can label it. And we can add what we learn. And this will be what you learn from the elders in the game and also what you learn from the videos, which is why it's a good idea to come back. So we don't have to finish writing in our books right now. You can return to it later. At the end, we'll show you what to do with your book when you're completely finished. But for now, let's add just what we learned so far, which is that in the winter, traveling by dog sled is a great way to get around fast. All right. What do we think? Is that all we need to put in there for now?
I think that'll do for now, yeah.
Okay. So let's go on and let's learn the next thing that we have to learn. So now we're going to go up. We're taking our dogs with us. We're going to go up to Frank. And we're going to see what Frank has to tell us. And Frank says, hello, I can help you craft parts for your small game trap for your fur harvesting adventure today. Bring me 2 spruce logs and 6 sticks per gate. And we need enough for 5 traps. So friends, we've got to do some math. And if you think you figured out how much we need, you can share it in the form and show off just how good at mental math you are. But we need to have 5 traps, and we'll need 2 logs for each trap, and we'll need 6 sticks for each trap. So for our logs, we're going to need 2 times 5. Yeah, we're going to need 10 logs. And 6 times 5, we're going to need 30 sticks. So 10 logs and 30 sticks. We have our work cut out for us.
Mm-hmm.
We can chop down the jack pine and the birch saplings to get what we need. Okay, we have names of things. So I am going to show you what I want to do with that as well. And then once we have the wood gate, place it in the space in the front of the trap. When you come back later, if you've been fortunate, you may have some rabbit fur hide to collect. Okay, we already have an axe. We don't need another one. So I am going to close that. And again, we learned the names of things. So take the picture. Come on, dogs. And take the picture. And let's add those to our book as well. So this was the jack pine.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one's the birch. So as we learn things, we can add those to our book as well. All right, now let's gather some stuff. All right, so we need 10 logs and we need a whole lot of sticks. Boop. We've got 5, 8. That should do
There
it.
we go.
Okay,
That'll do it for
logs.
that.
Now we just need a whole lot more sticks. We might have to do a little bit of adventuring around. So I'm also trying to keep track of where we have been. And I know that the way back is back in that direction. Ooh, don't look berry bush. Okay, so we're at 12. And come on, dogs. I'm trying to keep my elders in sight just so I don't get too lost. More sticks. All
Halfway
right.
there.
Yep. And I'm actually going to cut down a couple more trees because I know it's getting hard to find sticks. So I know our Minecraft pros are in the forum right now telling us what we need to do. But for our newer Minecrafters, here's what we are going to do. We are going to make sure we have our 10 logs. I'm just doing this by picking it up with left click, and then with right click, you can drop logs until you have a certain number. So we want to keep our 10 logs because we need those for our traps, and we need 15 more sticks. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put our extra logs up here, and I'm going to grab the planks. And then I'm going to drag them into one window above the other one, and we can make some more sticks until we have.
There we go. Plenty.
So if you don't want to get lost looking for birch trees, that's another way that you can get the sticks that you need. And then we're not taking any more than we need as well. All right, and then we have some extra resources left over in case we need them. So let's head back. And we're going to talk to Frank. And we can click on next and we can get the trap. Oh, it didn't work. Why didn't it work? Let's try again.
Okay.
Let's get 10 more logs and try one more time. If at first we don't succeed, we'll try again. And this has happened to me before. Usually it works the second time. Okay, we've got 10 again. Let's get a couple extra just in case.
I mean, it took the logs, it didn't take the sticks.
Nope.
I'm wondering if it's because you crafted them.
That's worked before when I crafted them. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yep. So,
It was a hiccup.
Yep. Okay. So now we have our traps. Now we have our puppers. Now we are ready to go over here. And William Banjo Young tells us, when looking to trap fur bearers, specifically hares, you'll need to know where to best place the traps. We've set them up in the most appropriate areas for you already. Hares look for jack pine trees like these examples next to me. Scratch marks at the bottom of the tree, along with droppings and footprints, will show you exactly where the traps need to be placed and set. Once you set the trap, it becomes a waiting game. Set the trap here by placing a gate in the open space at the front of the trap, as in my example here to my right. Talk to Frank if you need some gates. There are 4 more traps along the trail to set. We're going to use the dog sled to travel quickly to each. Once all the traps here are set, go check all the traps for hares. Once you've collected rabbit fur from the 5 traps, follow this trail to the end. It curves around in a big U, and talk to Kenny Benson for further directions. Click I'm ready when you're ready to start trapping. Now, friends, this is really important. I know a lot of people are in the habit of just skipping through dialogue or clicking on this X box, but if you do not go through all of what William Banjo Young has to say and click the I'm ready button, you're going to get very frustrated because our activity is not going to work. So I am ready. I'm going to click on the button, and now we can set our traps. So we can see here, they've marked where the trap has to go. All we have to do is put our gate in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some pictures.
Because you can see, you can see the scratch marks at the bottom of the tree there.
Okay. So I'm going to take a picture of that, and then look what we have here. Okay. And I'll take a picture of the trap and my dogs because they're cute. And before we get to our activity, I'm going to write down what we just learned so that I don't forget. So I am going to add this picture. And I'm going to add this picture of our footprints and our bunny poop. Prints and poo.
It's not often that you have cause to write poo inside of an education lesson.
And it's okay because it's science.
Okay. That's right.
And then we will add our picture of everything together. And we'll add what we learned. So we look for scratches on the pine trees, footprints, and bunny droppings to know where to place our traps. All right. Do you think we got all of the teachings that we've received so far?
Yeah, spot on.
Okay. So let's take our gate and we're going to put it in this one. And then we're going to hop on our dog sled by right-clicking on the middle dog. That's one thing that I had to learn. Click on the middle dog. And then you have to be very careful because this dog sled goes fast and it is easy to get out of control. But we're going to head down the trail to
there we go.
Gate. So we're going to hop out. And you can use jump or you can use shift to hop out. And we're going to place gate number 2. Okay. So we've got 2 out of 5 traps. Click on our middle dog. We're going to go back down the trail. Don't get turned around. Look for those trees with little scratch marks on them. We're going to keep going. Oh, I see another one. There's those footprints and some bunny poo. I'm going to go boop.
This is a much better dog sled team than I've ridden in this game. They always wander off on me and run away. They're behaving themselves for you.
Mm-hmm. All right. And we're going to have to think of names for our dogs eventually. Friends, you can use the form and let us know, what would you name your dogs? I have to think about it. Oh, okay. Yep. All right, and then back down the trail. And boop.
That's 4, so just 5. There we go.
Okay. Ah, come back.
Oh, see, they're running away.
Leash. Leash the middle dog. Okay. So we have set our 5 traps, which means we can go back and we can get some of that bunny fur. Now, here's the thing that I have learned. The easiest way to do it without the bunnies getting away. Actually, let me just leash our dogs first. So in an empty spot in your hotbar, you can click on, you should be able to.
Yep.
Click on the fence post. There you
There
go.
we go.
And we can leave our dogs there as we get our fur. So we open it up. You can take your axe and you can see if that bunny dropped anything, which it may not have done. So we may have to go down to the next one and see if we have better luck. All right. So come on, dogs. Dogs.
He got away from you there almost.
Yeah, in the trees. Oh, they were fast. Okay, let's go to the next one. And some of you may have your fur already. So here's another one. This bunny's bigger. Hopefully that is going to give us the fur we need. Yes.
Oh, there we go.
So now we have some meat and we have some hide. And that is actually all we need for now. So we don't have to check any of their traps. We can either leave the bunnies in there in case we need more resources later, or you can let them go.
Did you want to check out the snowshoe hare?
Yes.
Because I did make some changes to what they look like.
Okay.
So it's not your traditional Minecraft rabbit, because your traditional Minecraft rabbit is very cute, and I love it, but it's not very accurate, because it has its eyes on the front, and prey animals don't have their eyes on the front. They have them on the side so they can see predators sneaking up behind them. So I went to through a lot of research and work to make sure that they were, looked like snowshoe hares. So if we can get close enough without letting it escape, we can see.
All right. So
Still kind of cute though.
Yep. All right, let's take.
Oh, and he's away.
Yay, I got it.
Oh, you got him. You got a good picture.
Yeah. That's a really
that's
good
even
one.
better.
Okay, and we can add that to our book as well. I'm just going to let the dogs take me for a ride while I do this. So we're going to take a picture. We're going to take that last one that we took. If you ever have pictures that you don't want, you can use the portfolio, which is our other book. And that one has a delete, which will let you delete the pictures you don't need. So this is a snowshoe hare. Okay. All right, and we're going to go back down the trail. We're going to let that bunny go because we don't need any more hide than we have. I think I might have gone the wrong direction.
No, you're going the right way.
Going the right way? All right. Yay. Okay, that was just, we went back really far.
Oh, and just in that last spot, that last trap, there was an elder standing there. So if you accidentally dropped all of your traps, you can actually go and ask for some help from.
Okay. Hey, you can get more gates there if you need them. All right, come on, dogs. Okay. Whoop. And Kenny tells us that dog sleds are extremely devoted to their mission of pulling the sleds. And before and after each outing, it's important to care for the dogs properly. Take this campfire and these materials and make a comfortable place for the dogs to rest back at camp. A suitable building area has been marked with posts and banners. Remember to save some of your trapping today to feed your dogs and keep them strong. All right, let's get those materials. And let's get our dog sled. And we are going to head over to that kind of glowing area that kind of gives us an idea of where we need to be. And then everything else pops in. And see this little area that's kind of marked out by these 4 posts with flags? That's where we're going to build our little home for our dog sled team. So let's leash them up to the post so they don't wander off while we're making them a house. And let's talk to the villager, who says, Bonjour, I hope your trapping excursion went well. You can build your dog shelter with the material Kenny provided with you here inside the banner area. Once you're finished, head back to camp and talk to Emily. She'll be grateful to receive the food you trapped and share it with the rest of our community. She'll also help you go on to activity 2 and 3. All right, so we'll keep a hide and we'll keep a rabbit meat just in case we need them for Emily. If you have extras, you can feed some to your dogs too. But let's build a house for our dogs. So let us know in the form what you are planning on putting into this dog shelter. And we'll have some of our ideas of our own as well. So we've got some campfires, we have some fences, we have lots and lots of logs and planks, and we have some trapdoors. So let's see what we can build for our puppers. All right. So I'm going to start by making a fence so that I can keep my dogs in place and they're not going to wander off. So let's do that. And there. And we're going to keep going over here. And I am out, but never fear, Minecraft skills are here. Gonna make myself a crafting table. Boop.
You could go and ask her for more stuff as well.
Oh, okay,
If you
that
needed
is
it.
good to know. So what I need right now is oops, these have to go here. So if you've never built one of these before, friends, this recipe right here will give you some fence gates. And that's how we can get in and out of our little dog pen. So I'm going to put the gates. There's pretty good. And let's go get more materials and see if we can get more fences without having to build them. Oh, no, we have to go all the way back to Kenny, don't we?
Oh, that's right. He's the one that gives you the stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to build a fence then. That's too far to walk. All right. So the recipe for fences is the opposite of gates. Sticks in the middle, planks on either side. And let's get, we don't need too many more, I don't think.
No.
Do.
Oh,
Yay.
look at that. Bang on.
All right, and now I'm going to retrieve my dogs. No, I don't want to ride you. I want to get your leash back. There you go. And let's bring our dogs inside of their little enclosure. Come on, dogs. Come on, guys. There you go. Good puppers. All right. Close the gates. Okay, our dogs are contained. So let's figure out what else we need. We're going to need a dog house, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's make ourselves a nice little dog house. I'm going to start by making some corners. I'm going to get not super fancy, but I'm going to get maybe a little bit fancy. And head over here. Boop.
It is in adventure mode as opposed to creative mode, so you do have to kind of exercise your survival skills, building skills.
Yep, which is fun. One of the really important things that we learn when doing worlds like this one is that one of the really important Indigenous principles of learning is that learning takes patience and learning takes time. And I think survival mode is actually a really, really good mode for learning that lesson. I'm leaving space for a window just because.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. And I'm in the dog sled. I know you're very excited, guys. All right, where did I put the window? That one. Okay. Do.
I think that one post is out of alignment.
I think you're right. So we fix. Because otherwise it will bug me. There we go. And we can fix that and we can come back. All right, I'm seeing a lot of comments that people are wondering how we keep our dogs warm. So I'm going to come back to the doghouse, but we do have our campfires and we have these trap doors, and I think I'm going to make use of both of those. So let's put the fire down here. That's some nice light too, but I don't want my dogs running into it. So I'm actually just going to surround it.
It's a good idea because they will do that.
Yep. And that will provide some nice light and some warmth for our puppers without them kind of wandering over the fire. Because I have played Minecraft enough. I know what they do. So let's do that. And if you've come up with another solution for your dogs, let us know what you came up with.
It's my first traumatic experience in Minecraft was a dog that had worked so hard to tame and find and tame, and then it walked into a fire.
Oh. So I know there's lots and lots of different ways to build roofs in Minecraft, but I don't want to spend too long on what we are doing. So I am going to use the trapdoors.
And Sarah, how do you click a trapdoor on a trapdoor?
That is a really good question, because I know there's going to be some people sitting there going, ah, no, what's happening? So if you want to place something on something that's flippable or interactable, like a trapdoor or a chest, you have to hold down Shift or crouch. And then you can add your little roof. And then we could add another wall if we wanted to, but I think this is going to be pretty good for our little puppers. I think they have pretty much everything they need right now. And as we gather more things, maybe you come back, maybe you add more stuff to your dog enclosure. But I think this is going to be a really good place to leave them for now. Let's take our table with us. They don't need that. And our dogs are going to be safe and happy in here. So from here, we're going to leave our little dog pen. And if you're not finished, that is absolutely okay. You can either pause or you can come back later and do some more work on your dog pen. But I think we're going to, oh, look, they're in their house. We are going to add this to our little book. And so we're going to add our little picture. Doghouse. And we're going to follow this path back to the village. All right. So, do you remember who we have to find?
That's right. We have to find Emily.
There she is. So now that we have our rabbit, we can click on the contribute button. And this is really, really important, everyone. Do not click on the X on the next dialog screen. So now we can move on to activity 2 or activity 3. And I think we probably are going to have enough time to do activity 2. So let's go ahead and let's choose that one. Now, it is really important that you don't click on that X. If you didn't listen to me, or if you were like, oh, tell me what to do, Sarah, and you clicked X, you're going to have to go back to your trap route, and you're going to have to get more rabbit hide for Emily. And then you'll have this choice again. So if you need to do that, you can do that now, but we're going to go to activity 2. Okay, so we have some more people to talk to, and we have a lot of stuff that we need to check out. So let's talk to William, who says, Bonjour and welcome to activity 2. I invite you to look inside our traditional shelters known as wigwams. Take pictures and add your thoughts to your journal. What 3 benefits does the central fire provide? How do we stay warm on the cold ground? Okay, so those are important questions. We're going to see if we can find the answers, and we can always come back if you forget what the questions are, which I'm probably going to do. And then, with what materials do you think these semi-portable shelters were made? When you're done exploring the wigwam, please talk to Kenny to learn about ice fishing. All right, so let's take some pictures. I'm going to back up because that picture was terrible. Okay, let's take a picture of the inside. There we go. That villager is nice and warm. Amazing. And if we look around, there is a clue about what these wigwams are made from.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what they're made from because this is one of the Anishinaabe words I actually do know. So there we go. So we have our birch trees over there. And we have our kind of pine trees over here. And if we look at the color of the wigwams, anybody have any guesses what they are made out of? So I am going to give a hint because I know. I'm going to add my picture of that birch that I just took. So I know that birch bark, the name for birch bark is weak was. And that is a really big clue because now we have, and scroll down, there's the decent picture. All right, so wigwam is the structure. So if you figured it out, wigwams are made out of birch bark. Okay, so.
Do you see what's on the floor?
Yeah, our questions. So what benefits does the fire provide? How do we stay warm on the cold ground? And what materials were they made with? So we've answered question 3. So let's add that to our book and then let's address the other 2 questions. Okay, so a wigwam is made of birch bark. The fire does 3 things. Okay, so friends, what is that fire gonna do? And I know the villager gave us a hint, so it will definitely keep us warm. And I think it's going to provide some light as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one, Dan, what is the third thing that it's going to do?
Third thing, we can cook on it.
All right.
I do like cooking on an open fire.
Yep. And all right, so if we go in, there's actually, I know a lot of people are going to be saying, well, isn't it dangerous to have a fire inside because of all the smoke? If you look up, they thought of that. There is a hole for the smoke to go out of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's actually moose fur on the bottom as well.
Amazing. And that is how you stay warm. So let's add that to our book as well. And we'll add the picture that we took on this page. All right. Do you think we got everything?
I think we're good.
Okay. All right. So let's move on and let's talk to Kenny, who says, today we're going onto the ice to practice ice fishing. Safety is of the utmost importance, and I'll meet you on the ice in a safe place. First, you'll set up some banners to block the wind and sun, and you'll dig a hole in the ice with your axe. Next, you'll try and photograph different species of fish for your journal. Lastly, you'll catch some delicious fish and bring our catch back to Emily Skye, who will share it with our community. Grab the fishing rod and some banners and catch me out on the ice. Click Let's Fish to start the activity. Remember, everyone, clicking the button is really important, so make sure we click it. Okay, and let's follow. And as we're following, I am going to stop and take a picture, just so I have that as a reference. So we've got pickerel, which are kind of more brown. We have the jackfish, which are kind of spotty. And we have the sturgeon, which are really long, and they have a white belly. So we'll see if we can remember those 3. And we'll add them to our book as well, just so that we have a reference. And scroll down. Whoop. There we go. That's why I took a picture. Okay. Hi, Kenny. Okay, we've cleared away some snow in an area that's perfect for ice fishing. Break a 3x3 area in the ice. So that's 3 blocks by 3 blocks. Be careful not to fall in. Place the banners on the correct side to block the sunlight. Get your camera out and try to photograph different species of fish. And then we're going to try and identify the fish in our journal. And then we have to catch 5 fish and take them back to Emily. so we can get more from Kenny if we need it. Do we have the materials yet?
I don't know. We can get them again.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so we've got plenty of banners there and our fishing pole.
Our fishing rod. Okay. All right, so let's break a hole, and you can break a hole anywhere in this area. I'm going to go kind of in the middle, I think. And it has to be 3 by 3. Ooh, there's some fish.
Now, actually, if you were actually really ice fishing, you would probably break a significantly smaller hole. But
Yep.
because of Minecraft mechanics, and it is tricky fishing to begin with, we suggested making a much larger hole in the ice.
Mm-hmm. So that's one of those Minecraft versus reality things that comes up every so often. Sometimes you just got to work with Minecraft. Minecraft's going to Minecraft. All right, so we have to block the sun, and there's the sun over there. So let's put our banners on this side of our fishing hole. Okay, that looks good. And we're going to take the pictures before we start fishing. Now, you can take the pictures from up here, but we're going to show you one of the fun mechanics for ice fishing. If you want to get a really good close-up picture, you have just enough time to jump in and take a
single picture.
And while we are getting warm, we can go into our book as we're warming back up, and we can add that picture that we just took. So I think the one that was closest when we took the picture,
there we go,
kind of had all 3 of them.
Yeah.
But the closest one, so that's the jackfish right there.
Mm-hmm.
And we need pictures of the pickerel and the sturgeon. And we have some moose meat, so we can snack on that if we want. There we go. All right, I'm going to see if I can get a picture of the other 2 real quick. We're going to have to jump in the hole again. Whee! Okay, sturgeon. Aha!
Oh, well done.
I think I got a pickerel right beside it. So I am going to call that pickerel and sturgeon. I think we've got both fish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's get that last one. We actually got all 3.
Oh, there we go.
But we've got the sturgeon, and then the jackfish is kind of in the way, and then we have our pickerel over there. And it just fits. All right, so let's write down what we learned so far while we're warming up with a fire. So we break a hole in the ice to fish. We used banners to block the sun. All right, did I get everything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Now let's look at fishing.
All right. So I will offer some suggestions that I have learned, because fishing at a hole in the ice is tricky if you don't want to lose your fish. So if we just kind of fling the Minecraft rod, the bobber is going to get stuck in the ice. And if your bobber is stuck in the ice, the fish is not going to come to you when you catch it. So the way that I found works best is you have to get as close as you can without falling in, and try and put your bobber straight down. And that usually, there we go. As long as it's kind of floating on the top of the water, you should be okay.
All right.
And then I'm actually just going to move the fish into my hotbar so it's easier to see how many we have. Whoop, and I fell in one. No. Okay. Try not to do that. The ice is slippery. And it is tricky till you warm back up, but I'm pretty sure it's this way. Yep. You will warm back up and you will be able to see again. There we go. Try not to do what I just did. Yep, you skid on the ice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, come on, fish. There's 2. 3. Let us know how you're doing, everyone. How many fish have you caught so far? And did you get all of your pictures?
You're much better at this than I am.
That one didn't go right. There we go. One more fish. Okay, we have enough fish. All right, so we can take the shortcut or we can walk back to camp. Dan, what are we going to do?
Oh, let's walk.
Okay.
Just that way, if you do accidentally press an X button before you press on the activity 2 with Emily, this way you can see which way you can walk back to get to the camp, or walk down to the river to do ice fishing.
All right, now I usually don't walk back. So Dan, which way do we go? Do we follow
We're
this
just
path?
going straight up there. Yep, just follow the little sort of path there.
Whee. All right.
Get us off to the side there.
And let's put these dogs in with the other dogs. In you go, puppers. Boop, boop. And let's run back to camp so that we can give our fish to Emily. Okay, and let's give the fish. Okay, so from here, if you want to go on to activity 3 when we're done our lesson, you can do that by clicking that button. Remember, if you X out, you'll have to go collect more materials to get this choice back from Emily. So you can go and get more stuff if you need to, but try not to make that decision right now. Now, you don't have to do this, but the last thing we're going to do is we're actually going to show you what to do with your book when you are completely finished. So please don't do this now. Don't lose your choice. You can just watch what we're going to do. So my book and quill has all of my information in it. When you are completely finished, and please make sure you are completely done because you will not be able to write in your book after you do this, you can click on the sign button. And this can be my learning. And we sign and close, and see how the book's all purple and shiny now? And we can't write in it anymore, but we have this button down here. And this will let us save our book as a PDF so that we can keep our book that we wrote, and we can go back and review everything that we learned in the game, everything that we learned from going back and watching all of those videos we didn't have time to watch with you because we only had an hour with you today. And you can turn it into your teacher to show them everything that you learned from this world. So you're only going to do that when you are completely done, and it's going to be up to your teacher if you finish now or if you go on and do activity 3 on your own, now that we've introduced you to the first 2 and you have a pretty good idea of how these activities work. So on that note, we are going to say thanks, everyone. If you want to learn more about Minecraft from us, we both have YouTube channels for teachers and students where we share all of the weird Minecraft tricks that we know. So you're welcome to check that out. And we want to say thank you so much, everyone, for joining us in our lesson today. And Dan, thank you for sharing some of your behind-the-scenes knowledge on how this amazing world was made.
Thank you so much.
All
right, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.